Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. 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 Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. 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 What try but the shibia koda. Not the achi, not you was saying. When I'm obedient, no bon quine, now what found him. Betty B. Jessica, now what true, now what's menace. Honorable upon Bedufi, now we're in a pabua, socks or no, yeah, Manka, one ever can, Mama Menka, controversial, first class, Yania, TV, that any tree, Pompo to Magra was a pen post, and then when you have been in no way, honorable upon fake cry, you spray, obey in a pabua not to wear radiate. If I were 18 more, and I ran away, one point was how I sent tonight, Kogano to Kokaya, who saw Jao, Felicia, Monica Mansa, when you had a better no Munya market. Yeah, what type of the Shibia Koda? Not the Achi, not the Kia was say. When I'm obedient, no bomb cry, now what found him. Betty B. Jessica, I was true, now what's Lennis, honorable Pabedufi, no way in a Pabua, socks or no. Oh, Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. 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 Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, I keep it, yeah. Santino, Santino.
Barima Sidney.
Santino, which is of Africa. Why are thou doers this to Achimota? In Kankata can't get in our headquarters. Police station and him okay. No.
Sentinel and several songs, man. All credited to the smile in the background. Let me head over to him right away and see if we can have a conversation with him. Bossman, Sydney. How be?
Charlie, all correct. Come here,
Oh, can we? No, I can't. No, I can't hear.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Let me get my stuff right here. I can't hear Sydney speak. Okay. Let me, there'll be a delay. Okay, this one's the one. Okay. All right, Sydney, Charlie, I'll find a way and make sure that I can hear you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. And yourself?
I can't complain. What happened? We should have been on about half an hour ago.
I bet that. So me try na time no more for me to me could die. I go best for.
I'm going to assume he's oversleep small, but
Charlie.
Okay, all right, Charlie. I know how your industry works, man. Anyway, look, I'm excited to have you on. I don't know how I haven't gotten you on the show all these years. We've been doing it. Hey, did I say all these years? All these weeks. We've been doing it for quite a while. And you and I, we go way back. You should have been on this show from show way number one. Back, but yes. It's all good. Sydney.
I know.
I haven't seen you in I don't know how many years, man. But I'm going to pretend I have no clue who you are. And so we'll start from the beginning. Let's start talking about the group Nananum, because that's where you started from, and that's how you started. So how did it come about? It was the three of you. Let me keep quiet. You tell us the story.
Okay. Well, let me say good evening or good morning to your listeners and viewers. Truly, yes. Nananum, it all started with Nananum. But before Nananum, I was in a group called NFL. That is the Native Funk Lords, led by Eddie Blay Jr. In fact, he discovered me. So I was in NFL from 1994 to the later part, I think, of 95. That's where we formed Nananum. Myself, the late Oman Himpozo. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Yeah, and Nana Hima Joti. We all attended the same school, West Africa Secondary School. That's where we all attended. So apparently that's where this whole thing started. Yeah, So we started in I think it was 96. That's where we started, where we won the first ever rap competition dubbed Recognized 96. And it was out of 26 rap groups, and we became first. We won. And right after that, I think KK Dra, may his soul also rest in perfect peace, of Case Frequency, he signed us, and we started recording in 1996. In fact, our first single was dropped on Reggie's Makamaka album. That was the Penyin Obinye Bida.
Oh, okay.
That was Reggie was just about to release the Makamaka album, so we had to drop the Penyin Obinye Bida album, a single on Reggie's album. So right after that, we came out in early 97. I think it was February 1997. That is where Nananum came out with the Uchiro, the Nananono. So myself, Puzo, and Joti was the first hiplife group to come out with an album, after that time. So, yeah.
And I know.
So that's how.
So Uchiro there was like the big one that came out, and I remember some of the events you had at the Gunsa Night National Theatre, and it was there we introduced Lord Kenya as well, right?
That's it. We discovered Lord Kenya in Kumasi. I think it was on the 28th of December, I think 96 or something. That's where Lord Kenya and Ochitame Kwame, but then he was known as Wizkid. That's where it was. The first ever.
Oh, cool! That was the beginning, early days. So as he did say, it was the three of them. He, Omar Henry Pozo, and Joti. So they were always together. Now, of course, the early days I was working in radio, Choice FM Ghana then. And one day these three come over to me and say, "Oh, Fisho, we listen to your show on Sundays." I said, "Oh, cool." And then Sidney says, "Oh, we would like to make a radio jingle for you." I said, "Okay." And then they put this jingle for me, and it was brilliant. Brilliant. I can't remember the lyrics to it, but I just know that it was excellent. I loved it ever since then. And we came pretty close. I remember. Actually, you know what?
You managed
the
that
last
at a point
time I saw you, we're eating kinky and fish, all me, you, and Joti, and Belinda.
That's it.
In Latibio, because kinky hot pepper, Charlie. Hey, you've come a long way, man. Long hustle. No car at that time, Charlie. The man walked from like Circle to Latibio, Charlie, to sit down. Let us chat. Hey, the young hiplife artists watching right now, these guys have come from far. It's been cool, but we've enjoyed the trip. We've seen you grow. Okay, so after the first album, what happened?
Yeah, well, after the first album, that was in 97. We followed up, just after that. That's where Pozo left the group. Apparently, he wanted to release his own album, so he left the group and went solo. And he released his first, solo album. But then myself and Joti were still under Case Frequency, so we released our second album. In I think 1998. That was Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Yeah. That was 1998. That's when we came out with the Alright album. Then after that, that's where Joti also left. And apparently,
when Joti leave for academic reasons, did Joti leave because she didn't want to be part of the group? What happened? Pozo left. It was the two of you, and then Joti left. What was the real story behind that?
For Joti's own was like, I think, she left. It was marital stuff. She left to go get married. She got married to a pastor, and apparently they left Ghana to Germany after that time. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So then you were on your own, and then big things started happening. All over the world. I can't remember which. I think Sentinel was was the first big one, right? When you went single. Was it Sentinel that put you in the limelight?
No, I think it was Tina and Pampanam. Tina na Pampanam. Tina na Pampanam was my first.
Tina na Pampanam.
Yeah. I was still that. Then after that was Sentinel.
And then okay, I remember that one. Then you just went out. Everybody just went crazy with all of your songs going on.
Yeah.
But then your style has always been a little bit of, you put a little bit of politics in there, small controversy in there, always your name in the news. Has it always been intentional?
Yeah. Apparently, yes. Yeah, because I realized I wasn't so good at doing love songs and all that. So I decided to do songs that were, let's say, like reality. I mean, let's say things that were happening in our environment. I decided to just package them, put them together and bring it back to society. So that's why I started talking about politics. And at the point in time, also picking on some petty topics that people or a lot of my colleagues weren't too comfortable to, talk about. Like, Sentinel or talking about Obi and Ubia, these are topics that were definitely, the moment you say Obi and Ubia, somebody will say Obi. They are controversial topics. But I must give credit to my marketing background. Because I did marketing at IPS, and I think, it gave me a little, sometimes you have to be a bit different. It doesn't matter how, weird, sometimes it might sound, but then, so I decided, towing that line, things that people weren't talking about. And also, of course, I was so passionate about politics and especially corruption. So I decided to also start hating the politicians as well. Yeah.
No wonder. Let me play one of your songs that probably did one of that, and then I'll come back to you. Yeah. This is Sydney.
When I'm money, I'm money. When I'm money, I'm money. When I'm money, I'm money. When I'm money. Yeah, Sydney. Yeah, je suis arrivé. Qu'est-ce que la nation soit sur les Ghana? Arrêtez le babadage. C'est moi le tu. Sydney back again. Yeah. Now no anymore. What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now? Money, Africa money. I got the chop on fuga. Wanna money, money, Africa money. I got the chop on fuga. It chop on yanga. I got the chop on yafu. Wow. I got the chop on it chop on fuga. I got the chop on yanga. Boom. I got the chop on money, Africa money. I got the chop on woman they way. Rich they enjoy. I say how we go bridge the gap between accountant they job. I got the job fuga. Back manager they job. I got the job pasa. Director they job. I got the job even pastors they job. Hey, l'argent, j'ai bien cherché, mais j'ai rien gagné. Le champ politique. Tu peux faire Africa money, I got the chop on fuga. Wanna money, money, Africa money, I got the chop on fuga. It chop on yanga. I got the chop on yafu. Wow. I got the chop on it chop on fuga. I got the chop on yanga. I got the chop on monkey the work, but with the job. Oga and Mina, who the job? And yet, who the job? And now, hide the stop. Monkey the work, but with the job. Oga and Mina, who the job? And yet, who the job? And now, hide the stop. I think you know Africa before. And yet, we get more. Who could see about food and more? Yet, we don't know we get all. Won't go eat, won't go yo. We have one side, share with you. 10 years. And nowadays, on the money. Africa money, I got the chop on woman they way. Rich say enjoy. I say how we go bridge, oh. The gap between account and the job, oh. Okay, the job, back manager, the job. Okay, the job, director, the job, oh. Okay, the job, even pastors, they chop, 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 chop. Yeah, for the people, are you ready for this? Yeah, now when I say.
All right, then, that's the man himself, Sidney, representing live on the Music for Quarantine feat show number 59. I'm really excited about this. Sidney, Charlie, your style has, is it intentional? It has a little bit of like a francophone twist to it, a lot of your songs. Is it intentional?
Yes, I think this particular song was the first, in fact, it was an experimental track. Back in the days, when I released this song, the Francophones were really taking control of Africa. I mean, they were in charge, and they had this particular trend of music called Coupé de Calais. That was a trend at that time. So I decided to, mix the Coupé de Calais feeling with our own Agbaja, and so it was intentional, because we always say we want to cross over to Africa, and anytime a Ghanaian musician says he wants to cross over to Africa, the only place we normally look at is Nigeria, because we think they are Anglophones. I mean, but then I realized when you look up there, we have Burkina Faso up there. When you look at the Western region, we have
right.
the Ivory Coast, then also the other side Togo. So I decided to, because if you want to pass or penetrate Africa, I thought the best place to start first was the Francophone. And it was an experimental track, and it worked.
I mean, you do a good job with that. And I know alongside politics, in fact, there was a time when we even thought you were going to quit music, because I think it was President George Weah in Liberia called you to help out on the Ebola campaign. How did that come about?
Well, but I've known Georgia, or His Excellency Weah, for a long time. We met in Ghana, I think, as far back as 2004. Yeah, I mean, so from Rabuskeleke days, that's where he tried contesting the presidency in Liberia. That was 2004. So we were there with him right from day one. So we became friends. So when the Ebola thing broke out, he called me and was like, Charlie, write something. I mean, the Weah Project and United Nations wanted something, to, drive this whole thing. So it was just a day, myself and Kindi at his studio, we just came out with this Ebola track, and apparently he recorded his part in Liberia, and we fused it, so we featured. So I've known him, since 2004. So did
cool.
assignment too. Yeah, that's it. And
I saw a nice program on BBC World Service, and they were talking about your impact on Ebola, and not just that, you were also called for something, the Child Soldier campaign to help them stop all that. Was that so? That was right after Ebola. You were called back to Liberia for that again?
No, I think that was the first one. The Child Soldier thing was the first. I mean, Give Them the Pen, not the Gun, was the first campaign with the United Nations. Yes. Then afterwards was the Ebola one. Yeah.
Give Them the Pen and not the gun.
Yeah, not the gun.
That was a solid campaign. Well done. I mean, we're proud of you every time we hear your name out there. Charlie, tell me about. Have you ever gotten in trouble with your songs in Ghana?
Oh, a lot of times, man. A lot of times, man. I mean, a lot of times, man. I mean, people still don't know where I stand. I mean, at a point in time, the thought was here, the next time the thought was here, and all that. It's been like that till the current president came with his campaign message, the 2016 one, and I realized, I mean, if somebody said he was going to provide the youth of today with free SHS, I mean, education is something, I'll do anything for. So I was like, wow, why don't I jump on? So I openly declared my support for, his campaign. I mean, that was in 2016, and apparently he won, and that's it. So I think that was where I really declared my support for a particular political party. But then I was hitting. I mean, from it was during the MPP time I released the Oga the Chopper Nyafu Nyafu. Yeah, I mean, and NDC. Yes, MPP 2, I was against them. Then NDC came to power, and they also used it. It's been like that. And I did a Don't Call Me. I've done a whole lot of the Nkoye and all that. So I'm not really the party type. But then if I listen to your political message and it makes sense, why not, man? I always would jump to support.
So are you coming up with something, fix the country or fix yourself song? Is that coming up soon?
Well, with the fix that, I've been speaking about this campaign, since the start and all that. First of all, I don't have any problem when people are saying fix the country. It's their right. And we always have to, demand accountability from our heads of state or our presidents or our leaders. So there's nothing wrong. I totally in support today and anytime, any day. If somebody say fix the country, there's nothing wrong. But apparently, what was the sad? I think when they wanted to go on demonstration, and apparently the police had to do one or two things to stop the campaign and the demonstration. That was a very sad day for democracy in Ghana. That day I almost wept. It was very sad. Allow people to express their feeling. Let them talk. There's nothing wrong going on the street to just express their way. And for you to find a way and grab some court injunction and stop them from demonstrating, I think that was below the belt. For that one, yes. But apart from that, you all have the right to criticize any leader. If you feel something is going wrong. So.
Okay, Sidney, this one came out in 2018. And then that one too, the guys were angry with you. Some women were angry with you. Let me play this one. Yeah, in fact, I played it last week. Somebody was like, hey, when he comes next week, we have our questions for him. So let's go with this one. 2018.
Hey! That's it.
My hand and boy with that. Oh, hi, mommy, who said cheap. My hand and boy with that. Oh, hi, mommy, who said cheap. Or Srumuchi, Assassin Comb, hiplife ninja jam, boom. Microphone, that she crash on the soon. We are near family, you drum. Purchase a supply cost to a drum. Debit credit account is soon. Rational producer, Bianco Chrome, opportunity cost, and one over two. If you true say marriage the ball. Hey, marriage the ball. I dey ask who marriage the ball. Now no hineba.
Sidney pa.
Na. How I did be a ya and plant shed there. Na. How I did be a ya and plant shed there. What kind of ya will lie no? No, Paula no. None of you be yes from sexy go me captain tweet. Flowers above robbers so bonsoir. Who be the dear Agio to promo 3 more out there. Similar there. Who see if you care more Agio no. Kawanini or dear show set for people pay about us here. I feel that I feel like now we are here. Let the ball swap and pom. This is a web business. It can't have son. Then you be do fiena con. Can't come up to be.
Oh, as for this one, Sidney.
I know.
Then I walk on. Oh my goodness. Oh, because. Oh, this one, Sidney. You have to defend all the guys. Please, just tell us that it was for entertainment. The words were not serious. Sidney, explanation. We are all watching.
You see, normally I say if you hear a song and you don't take your time and listen to it carefully, probably you might say, I mean, I can't see who be a keke. You see, this song is biblical. I mean, I've forgotten the exact way, but Matthew chapter 5, verse 28 or something.
Hey.
There's a particular verse. It says, I'm part of them, I mean preaching. Or say, when you look at a woman lustfully, you have already committed adultery. Brother, what is that verse with that?
You look at a woman lustfully, you've already committed adultery.
You've already committed an adultery.
Verse name, Matthew what?
Oh, Matthew something, but then I think immediately I escaped me. It's been a while.
Reverend Sidney.
Oh, but I mean, people
Master
know.
with our portfolio.
People know this very well.
So this one with your other songs, you're getting in trouble with politicians. Did you get in trouble with brothers for this one?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, but you see, this song is for the ladies. What I'm saying is still, I mean, the first part is the lustfully aspect. I mean, that one I say, Ubika say or Donina on fine or your trophy, because if the Bible says looking at a woman lustfully, that one alone if you commit her up into one before. I mean, you see a nice girl and saying, this guy fine. That one alone if they say you commit. So which of us can, say we haven't done that before? Okay. I mean, for that one, by default, I mean, because if not necessarily like going for the girl, but looking at her lustfully, if you commit her, that means how many of us can say we haven't done it? Because of the fun or your trophy. That's the first part. I mean,
all we are doing is we are admiring God's handiwork. Into which Halle Berry says she's good looking. But it just falls under Sidney's definition.
It's not my definition. I mean, I know that somebody will give that verse. This verse, but I mean, I'm telling you, it's a very popular, memory verse. I mean, I know
somebody has put it out on Facebook. Matthew 5, 27 to 28.
Thank you, 5. I told you, Matthew 5:28. That's it. It is there. It's not Sidney's way. You understand? So if the Bible says, if you look at the woman lustfully, you've already committed that. I'm saying, how many guys can say they haven't done that? How many of us?
So that's where Apuskele was from too, right? Sidney, your song is all trouble.
So wait.
But it's been good. Charlie, the career has been good, though.
Charlie, not bad.
Yeah, you've worked hard and it shows hits after hits after hits, and you're still in the game. I mean, I have some of the new ones. I'll be playing one or two later. So what are you working on now? What are you working on now?
Okay. I'm working on a full album now. August 10th. Will be my, I think, like 25 years in the music industry.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I intend to release, a fully packed album. Yeah, I mean, for once, I mean, like an album. So we're working on it. Like I've sent you a couple of them. I mean, it's not out yet, but then you have exclusive. I mean,
no doubt.
So the coming weeks, I'll be going to Liberia to record the other part. There's been a lot of collaborations too as well with some Nigerian artists, with some Liberian artists, with some Gabonese artists, with some Ivorian artists. Yeah, I mean, because of African money, I mean, Sydney is well known in most of the Francophone countries or like the African countries. So I'm doing a lot of collaborations with, them out there. So currently working on the album, shooting videos. So from now till August, I'm just going to be quiet and just wait till the album is released. But you know me, Charlie, if something comes up or now something spark and Charlie, I feel like releasing something for fun, I will do it. I mean, then you can.
You don't know how to keep quiet. You were quiet, you were working on something. The next thing I heard, Papa no. Oh, Sid. You got into trouble with that one too, right?
I was just having fun. I mean, and it was fun, Keke. I mean, it was just one night at studio. Got inspiration from Tracy Boachi and Gloria Kanife. It was just fun, Keke. I mean, it ended up being something, but I mean, So like I said, I'm just there working on my album. But if something comes up and it tickles my way, they are sharp.
Okay. Knowing Ghana, every week there's something new. Anyway, Sydney's working on his new album, hopefully to come out in August. But let's get a taste of what's on the new album. This one he calls Lovely Lovely, featuring Amanova.
If I give you my love, baby, tell me I no go regret it. If I give you my all, promise say you no go deceive it. This kind of lovey thing, no be my style, yeah. This kind of wanting love, no be my thing, yeah. Makuma kids swear be Miss Rowe. Makuma kids swear be Miss Rowe.
If you give me your love, baby girl, you no go regret. I say give me your all, baby girl, you no go regret. Yeah, this kind of lovey thing be my style. This kind of one thing love be my thing. Yeah, I go open you chapters, memories, verses. I go open you chapters, memories, verses. So now that we found love, I would do it, now that we found love, I would do it, so now that we found love, I would do it, now that we found love, yeah. Baby, say shine your eyes. Nobody knows tomorrow. Not even your mama can tell what future hopes. I say shine your eyes. Nobody knows tomorrow. Not even your papa can tell what future hopes. Yeah.
Do what you do, let nobody slow you down. Life can be tough, let nobody push you down. There is light here at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end, we go enjoy. There is light here at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end, we go enjoy.
So now that we found love,
from the upcoming album from Sydney, getting a taste of the iceberg right here, Music for a Quarantine Feed. Man, I love it. I've been asking what the album is going to be called. Let me find out and see. Music from the lady Amanova, Sydney, Barima Sidney, live. Hey, man, Sydney, Charlie. I mean, I'm not saying it because you're on the show, but trust me, this is a good song. Good song. Who's the lady? Who's the lady? Who's Amanova?
Yeah, she's called me. She's a Ghanaian, yeah.
She's Ghanaian? Oh, okay. Is she new? Are you trying to put her in the limelight? Oh. Technology. We'll get Sydney again. Let me drop this on. I like this.
Baby, say shine your eyes. Nobody knows tomorrow. Not even your mama can tell what future holds.
To my man Abeku Ampia, one of the first guys to manage the group Nanano back in the 90s.
Future hopes.
I wonder how Abeku feels now watching his guy out there.
Life can be tough, let nobody push you down. There is light here at the end of the tunnel.
We'll see if we can get Sidney on there again. In the meantime, still many tracks of his. We'll play them as we go along.
There is light, at the end we go enjoy.
So now that we found love,
Now that
we found love, so now that we found love,
Charlie Sidney, man, I'm serious. It's a hot song. It's a hot song. You said she's Ghanaian too, right? Is she new?
That's it. Yeah, she's Ghanaian. Yeah, she's been there. She's been releasing a couple of songs.
Oh, okay. This is really nice. I mean, I'm happy about it. What are you going to call the album?
Wow. Album title, Minya Money Din yet. I mean, not yet. I haven't given it a title.
It's the exclusive part. What am I know?
That's exclusive. I mean, I'm all exclusive. I mean, challenge.
Yeah, 3.
I mean, my former manager, Neka Sarati. I mean, I'll put it. Yeah, I mean, for sure. And Nanano, Charlie, way back, Charlie, respect.
Charlie. I mean, honestly, you were the first guys I really, when I got into this radio thing, I had no clue what it really was. I mean, you made me feel comfortable, and I really appreciate the help all the way back then. So I'm very happy, and that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that it's taking me this long to reach out to you. But that's cool. Okay, So as we mentioned, Nananom was you, Pozo, Joti. Joti is now married, living in Germany, and unfortunately, Pozo passed away. Where were you when you heard that he had passed away? Were you guys still close? And where were you when you heard he had?
Of course, Pozo died. Like where I was with him. You know, he fell sick 6 months before he finally died on in September. So I was with him right from beginning. I mean, a lot of people in Ghana. I mean, from 37 hospitals everywhere, I was with Pozo till finally, he gave up. The ghost. I mean, so we were very, very close. I mean, apparently Pozo was my silent manager at the point in time. I mean, when I was releasing singles, and he wasn't. As at that time, I mean, almost all my studio sessions, he's there with me, and so when he fell ill, I mean, I was with him.
What a shame.
These
two boys were very, very close with a young lady in the group, and it was pretty sad. Let me. I'll just play a little bit of Pozo's song, and then I'll come back to you and round up.
That's it.
Today's interview. For those of you who might not remember Pozo, remember this remix.
When you school, I get there. And then my other person, I would have be some wine and me, or playing me, before me, and that's a rebel me. The farmer could call super damage to brainy, and the devil woman, and Yemenia, or don't you make them one my wood into my demi for time, 2 foot down, and then my Kuma was said, Dinner Kita, and then my Russian would say yes to Nipita, and I come on, press, when you mamma, Yamiama, Namaka would on me, da for, I just said,
That was the man, Mahini Pozo. Very close friend. Pozo was calm, this guy was the wild guy, and then together, you know, the yin to his yang, and together they were amazing throughout the 90s. Nananum, and then they all went their separate ways and contributed a lot to Ghana's music scene. What would you say your favorite song is? Your own all of your songs. What's your favorite song? Your own favorite song?
Wow. Man. I think I wouldn't say my favorite, but there's this particular song that I love because I went through a lot to write that particular song, and there's a lot of emotions attached to that song. I think it was the Tina and Pampanam. I mean, it was first single, the early ones, my first single, you know, because it took me like 3 years after Juti left in 1998. It took me like 3 years to repackage myself and come back as, you know, as a solo artist. Nobody wanted to produce me because, Charlie, guys, Nananum was a very big brand. And now you're not using Nananum anymore. You say you want to be known as Barima Sidney. So all the big guys, all the big producers, nobody wanted to produce me. So I had to go, I left my house, stayed in Medina with a friend, Kobe. Stayed there for like, you know, a couple of years because I almost gave up. But then they encouraged me, Charlie, you can do it. So small. So I started recording and we did a Tina. So if you listen to the rap, it was anger. You know, just pouring out on the Tina and a Pampanam thing. The rap was some other thing altogether. So I think that song is still one of my favorites. And I said, let's say my favorite because of the stories or the emotions surrounding that particular song. Yeah.
I see. There's a story behind it. Always good to know. I was running a poll during the week. What's your favorite Sydney song? And the number one song, I'm sure you won't be surprised, was Obia Nyobia, Obia Nyobia. Everybody seems to like that song of yours. Tell me about the story when you're writing that one. What were you thinking about?
Yeah. Well, Obia Nyobia, the inspiration was from a man Okonfo Kwade. Yeah, I mean, apparently, you know, my baby. Yes, I'm a 3rd June. That's when I celebrate my birthday, 3rd June, and he is June 4th. Yeah, I mean, so we used to celebrate our birthdays together. You know, normally there's this Nescafe. You know, they used to organize this Nescafe bash for the two of us most of the time. I mean, almost all our birthdays. So I was doing one of those things. That's where this Obia Nyobia thing came about. You know, we're just playing. We did a freestyle with it. You know, then apparently I said, "Wow, that's good." So I used Obia Nyobia. And apparently, Kwade's one of his songs, he also did Obia, you know, he like in the line, he also mentioned Obia Nyobia and Obi, you know, that thing. So I think the inspiration is from a man, Okonfo Kwade. But then,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Nigerian friend, she's on right now, a friend of Okonfo Kwade. But she also said that when she moved to Ghana, or when she visited Ghana, your song, Obia Nyobia, was hot at that time, and so that's what she used to learn tree. So it's funny how people use little bits and pieces of your music to do certain things. I also received a text message from somebody saying he reminds me of when I was doing my A-level exams. So that's what it's taking them back to. Sydney, Charlie, I'm too happy. I'm happy you've been on. I'm happy you're fine. Everything seems to be moving on okay. Still working on the music scenes. Doing a little bit of your politics thing, which you've always been passionate about, not just in Ghana, but in also other African countries, Liberia, using the French connection, the French touch in your music. And so it's spreading wide and far, and I'm very happy about that. You've worked hard. Nobody has to tell me. I know, because I've seen the story. I've seen the roots. So all the best. I can't let you go. Charlie, will you sing something for us before we go now?
Okay. I don't even know which one to. I think I'll do the thing and I rap small.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Let me see if I can remember. I remember. Hold on, wait, chain my bija. Then chembo ye chame ho embo po and kwala toffee. Rap ma brobe otemenka beshe and janin kote. Asanti fufu a soldier for you, a Christo for Bible, a cratch for pen, a queer for second, mokola for kenten, I before play a chim for one PC, tea, me 10 peep. If you are getting piffy, mushemi ye, and ye, and you ma would tea, the chiwa dear any day. Formula nay simple, boating kunetie, Menkosasa bonema ukunu jawachna, a banesa rap ninja, mena me boka, me bomina coco, chum tia, tia, tiane, We me life very simple. S-O so. Me no master bobo. G-O go. Me life so that form say L-O low. Fisho. Oh yeah there. M-O mo.
Oh, that's my man. Sidney, Charlie, champion man. I don't know what to say. See, I'm recording this. I'm going to use this image. There you go. I love this, Charlie. Thank you very, very much. You see what I told you? That's the guy who created my first jingle for radio way back in '95, and it was excellent. Tommy Anafosi was like, "Hey, Fisho, who did it for you?" I said, "Oh, Nanano called them to the studio, and then we came in for a good interview." So I mean. Thank you very much. Final message to your fans before I go.
Well, I keep telling them, I mean, if they don't hear from Sydney, it doesn't mean we've stopped music. We're still raising the flag of Ghana high, somewhere else. I mean, recently I was in, like I said, like being in Liberia, I did a collab with Gabon artists and all that. So if you don't hear from us in Ghana, we've not retired. I mean, you guys don't retire yet. I mean, the best is yet to come. When it comes to politics, Sydney ain't gonna stop. I mean, definitely. I mean, like, I'm just praying that you drop the power. Now it's all about power. People want power. Now, when you give them the power, what next? I mean, so I'll be glad if you can drop that song for people to hear. I mean, and so they should keep praying. They should keep praying for us, and the record is not over yet. Yeah, I mean, you should remember that song. The record is not over yet. Yeah, I mean, so it's not over yet. I mean, until the boats are rotting. I mean, we say Fugees, yes. You don't know where the African Fugees. No. I mean,
there you go, African Fugees.
Wyclef Press and Lauryn Hill. It was like Sydney, Bozo, and Juti. Yeah, I mean, so the record is not over yet. Yeah, I mean. So fingers crossed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on your show too. That's baby.
Not a problem at all, Charlie. I see that anyhow. And so from his upcoming album, he hasn't even named the album yet, but he's given us a few tracks to play. First one was Lovey Lovey, which I played earlier, and this one he calls Power. Barima Sidney as he leaves us tonight.
Salud.
Oh, Sidney, Kung Fu Kwade just says hi. Sent a message right away.
Oh, Charlie, that's my brother.
Everybody want power. Now you get power, what be next? Everybody want power, hey. Now power come, what be next? Hey, you go settle your people, take care of your family.
Sydney, that's quite there on the screen there. Look at your Zoom screen.
Where's my brother?
Dedication and good health care. Power come down, whoa. Power come down. Power come down. Power come down now, whoa. Power come down. Power come down. Pouvoir. Tout le monde lutte pour le pouvoir, but they don't know.
On the screen, that's Kung Fu Kwade himself as well, a huge fan, a good friend of Sydney. We should have him on the show sometime.
Father won't be bishop, honorable member won't be minister. Mr. Minister won't be president. Now you get power. Your people they tire. Power. See how you they treat your people. Now you get power. Your people be better. Good governance. All of them be happy, yeah. Power, so sweet, yeah. Power sweet, oh, sweet, oh. Power, so sweet, yeah. Power sweet, oh, sweet, oh. Tout le monde de pouvoir. Power. Power. way per se. The way you go use some way be matter. Power, nobody, I say. The way you go handle and way be matter. As you get power, money be like water. Bank manager, see how you dey treat your father. As you get power, spiritual power, man of God, people for worship and salute you. Hey. Power come down, whoa. Power come down, power come down. Power come down now, whoa. Power come down, power come down. Yeah. Now power they make you the gaga. Power make you 10 medal.
The articulate guy.
Cause you get power. Now power for humble you cool. Power.
Been in the game for a long time. Always glad to have him on here.
Temperament. Hey.
Sidney, Barima Sidney. Very proud of him. And our guest for show number 59 today. Thank you, Sidney. Thank you. I'll be playing a couple of your tracks as we carry it on for a couple more minutes. Man, we're into like hour number 4 now.
Power come, what be next?